Text, dictionary, and corpora. The new tendency is presenting vocabulary in texts. For this purpose, texts have big advantages over learning words from lists. First of all, the fact that words are provided in context help learners to identify their meaning, their typical environment, collocations, and also grammatical structures. That is a good strategy for doing intensive grammatical and lexical study in the use of short texts in the classroom. Apart from reading texts, spoken language also has a wealth of exploitable material. Two lexical features of spoken language that are difficult to teach in isolation are discourse markers and tags. Discourse markers are words that generally appear at the beginning of an utterance to indicate change of direction of the talk. Here we have well, anyway, I mean, I'll tell you that. In the case of tags, those are words that occur at the end of an utterance, either to qualify what has been said or to elicit the listener's involvement. Examples of these are I suppose, actually, really, isn't it, you know, yeah? Extensive reading is the best way of providing learners the necessary exposure to vocabulary. It provides learners with the opportunity to meet new words in their context of supplying repeated encounters with many of these words. Research says that it takes 6 or more encounters with a word before learning takes place. Unlike textbooks that cover specific areas of vocabulary such as clothing, food, and drink, and then you drop it, real books tend to follow a topic over a length of text, ensuring at least some repetition of key vocabulary. Then we have dictionaries. For a long time, the use of dictionaries in class was discouraged because the dependence on a dictionary might inhibit learners the development of more useful skills, such as guessing from context or inferring. Besides, learners might over-rely on translation, and it could end up in the kind of errors where the wrong words are selected for the meaning intended. Nonetheless, the role of dictionaries in vocabulary learning has been reassessed, and as sources of words and information about words, dictionaries are unequaled. Here it is important to distinguish the kind of dictionaries available. First of all, we have bilingual dictionaries, in this case Spanish-English. There are also monolingual dictionaries, for example English-English. Additionally, we have meaning-based dictionaries, those are called thesaurus. In this kind of dictionary, words are organized not alphabetically but according to shared or similar meanings. Then we have picture dictionaries, which are another kind of meaning-based dictionary and are particularly useful in the sense that they group together words of the same lexical field. But their limitation is that they are restricted to things or actions that can be illustrated. And finally, there are dictionaries with specialized functions. For example, dictionaries of business English, dictionaries of idioms, of collocations, of phrasal verbs, or pronunciation dictionaries. Now, corpus data. Currently, dictionaries provide accurate information about words' frequency and its typical collocations, as well as supplying authentic examples of the word in context. This information is due to the development of corpus linguistics. But what is a corpus? It is a collection of texts that has been set for the purpose of language study. There is advantage for learners and also for teachers. First of all, it provides them with easily accessible information about real language use, about frequency of words, about collocations of words. And it provides certified examples of words in context rather than invented. Modern corpora are stored electronically, and it consists of millions of words of text, spoken and also written, and they range from academic texts through newspaper articles, casual conversation, and include English varieties of American, British, Australian, and even learner English varieties. Text, dictionary, and corpora. The new tendency is presenting vocabulary in texts. For this purpose, texts have big advantages over learning words from lists. First of all, the fact that words are provided in context help learners to identify their meaning, their typical environment, collocations, and also grammatical structures. That is a good strategy for doing intensive grammatical and lexical study in the use of short texts in